What is money and how to manage it? The concept of money has evolved significantly over time, from the early days of barter to the rise of fiat currencies in the modern global economy. Tracing the genealogy of money reveals its deep connection to power, social relations, and economic systems. Barter systems and commodity money in early societies. Trade was based on a barter system, where goods and services were exchanged directly for other goods and services. The problem with barter, however, was the double coincidence of wants. Both parties had to want exactly what the other offered. To solve this inefficiency, humans began using commodities like salt, cattle, and grains as an intermediary for trade. Commodity money was often a valuable good that had intrinsic worth. For example, gold and silver became widely accepted as money because of their scarcity, durability, and divisibility. However, commodity money had its limitations, especially in terms of portability and divisibility. These limitations prompted the next stage in the evolution of money. The advent of coinage and paper money around 600 BCE, the Lydians in modern-day Turkey introduced the first metal coins, which marked the beginning of the standardized monetary system. Coins represented a breakthrough in the portability and divisibility of money. The value of the coin was initially tied to the amount of precious metal it contained, providing an easily transferable medium of exchange. As societies advanced, the limitations of physical commodities prompted the introduction of paper money in China during the Tang dynasty. Unlike commodity money, paper money had no intrinsic value, yet it was backed by the state's authority and promise. Paper currency was easier to transport and exchange, and it symbolized a shift in understanding money not as something with intrinsic worth, but as something with value derived from trust and social agreement. The birth of fiat money in the 20th century, many countries, especially after the Bretton Woods Conference, moved away from the gold standard and adopted fiat money, currency that has value because a government says it does, rather than being backed by a physical commodity. Fiat money is essentially a government's promise that the currency is valuable and that it will be accepted as payment for goods and services. The US dollar, for example, is fiat money. It holds value because the US government guarantees it, not because it is backed by gold or silver. This shift to fiat money has significant implications. It introduces the concept of inflation, the gradual decrease in the purchasing power of money over time, which occurs when too much money is printed without corresponding economic growth. 2. Money, power, and the economy. Theoretical frameworks. Money is not just a simple medium of exchange. It plays a central role in the distribution of power, status, and access to resources in society. Several key economic theories and philosophical frameworks offer insights into the broader role of money in our lives. Karl Marx and the fetishism of money. In his seminal work Capital, Karl Marx discusses the idea of commodity fetishism, where social relations are masked by the relationship between money and commodities. Money, in Marx's view, is not just a neutral tool. It becomes a symbol of power that distorts the way we perceive the labor that produces goods. Fetishism refers to the way we endow commodities with power and value that they do not inherently possess. This fetishistic view of money is evident in our society's obsession with material wealth, which often obscures the human labor behind production. Example: when we buy an item, we rarely consider the labor behind it, focusing instead on its price tag. In the same way, we often see money as an end in itself, as a symbol of status and power, rather than as a means to meet needs or build social equity. John Maynard Keynes and the role of money in economic stability. John Maynard Keynes, a 20th century economist, argued that the economy should not be left entirely to market forces. In his general theory of employment, interest, and money, Keynes contended that government intervention in the economy through monetary policy was necessary to prevent recession and economic instability. Keynes's ideas on money and its role in the economy emphasized the demand side of economics. He argued that during times of economic downturn, government should increase spending and lower interest rates to stimulate demand and promote investment. The idea that money can be used as a tool to influence economic outcomes is central to the modern economic system. Foucault's genealogy of power and money. Foucault's concept of biopower and governmentality can be applied to the ways in which money is intertwined with power structures. Money is not just an economic instrument. It is a mechanism of control and regulation that shapes individuals and populations. Foucault's idea of disciplinary power, the subtle ways in which individuals internalize societal norms, can be extended to how people manage their finances. Example: the societal pressure to save, invest, or spend prudently shapes financial behaviors. The discourse around money is not neutral. It is heavily influenced by the market, advertising, and government policies, which dictate how we should think about and manage money. 3. Effective money management. Practical insights and common pitfalls. Managing money effectively requires both knowledge and discipline. Here are some practical principles for managing money, creating wealth, and avoiding common mistakes. Live below your means. The importance of budgeting. A basic but critical principle of effective money management is to live below your means. Budgeting is a practical way to ensure that your expenses don't exceed your income. This requires careful planning and prioritization. Example: suppose you earn $4,000 per month. After deducting essential expenses like rent, utilities, and food, you should aim to save a portion of your income rather than spending on non-essential luxuries. A common mistake people make is spending impulsively, especially when they feel pressure to maintain a lifestyle that exceeds their financial capabilities. Save and invest. Compound interest and the power of early investing. Saving is the foundation of wealth creation, but investing is what accelerates wealth accumulation. The earlier you start investing, the more you benefit from compound interest, where your returns generate their own returns over time. Example: if you invest $200 a month in a diversified portfolio at a 7% annual return, you will have over $400,000 by the time you're 65, assuming you start investing at age 25. However, if you wait until you're 40, you will need to invest $400 a month to reach the same goal. Avoid high-interest debt. The danger of credit cards and loans. One of the most common financial mistakes is accumulating high-interest debt, particularly from credit cards. Credit card companies charge interest rates as high as 20% or more, which can quickly lead to financial problems. Example: imagine you carry a $5,000 balance on your credit card with an 18% interest rate. If you only make the minimum payment, it could take years to pay off that debt, and you'll end up paying far more than the original amount borrowed. Diversify investments. Reducing risk. Diversification is a key principle in reducing risk. Spreading your investments across various asset classes can protect you against volatility in any single market. Example: if you put all your savings into one stock and that stock performs poorly, you risk losing a significant portion of your wealth. On the other hand, if your investments are diversified across multiple sectors and assets, the impact of one poor-performing investment is reduced. Avoid get-rich-quick schemes. Long-term wealth building. While the desire for instant wealth is strong, the reality is that long-term wealth building is usually a slow process that requires patience and consistent effort. Get-rich-quick schemes, such as high-risk investments, pyramid schemes, or unregulated cryptocurrencies, can often result in significant financial losses. Example: many people were drawn into the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s or the more recent Bitcoin speculative mania, hoping for quick gains. While some individuals got lucky, many others lost their entire investments when the bubbles burst. What